Hi. Okay. You know why we're here. We are reading and watching Normal People by Sally Rooney. The book is written by her. I don't know who did the show. I don't even know if she was involved in the process. But it is 12:20 a.m. I'm not starting it now, but I am filming, telling you why I'm doing this video, and then I'm gonna go to sleep, and then we'll just go right into like the reading, watching process. So, I've heard nothing but good things about this book, and honestly, mostly about this author as well. And I think the inciting incident, however, was when one of my friends posted a story with the clip from the show, and I asked her if I should watch, and she said, "Please do not. I cannot be responsible for the damage it'll cause." And like I said, okay, I have to watch it now. So that's what I'm doing. I wanted to get the book from the library. Unfortunately, they do not have it, as I know it was checked out. But yeah, I'm just going to be reading it online. Yeah, it's like 200 something pages. The miniseries is probably like 8 or 10 episodes. I have hours in the day. I don't really have any plans for later today. So yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I guess that's it. Let's go to bed so I can wake up early enough to start it. Hi, good morning. Okay, so I started it a little later than I wanted to originally, but it's fine because I'm already a fourth through this book. I'm definitely going to finish it today. And yeah, I just took a few notes after reading the first fourth. So, this relationship is very hidden from the world, for sure. The only people that know about it are the two people that are in it, and Connell's mother. And maybe I don't. At least at this point, they're not really in a relationship anymore. I can tell you exactly where I am if you're wondering. I am at 3 months later, November 2011. But anyway, yeah, I just keep thinking about the quote that says something like, you can't you can't separate the shame of being caught doing something and the shame of doing it. So yeah, I think they're not really at the same wavelength when it comes to what they want this relationship to be and how like exposed to the world, how like secretive I guess it should be. I think Connell is more worried about like how his reputation with other people will change when they find out that he's with Marianne, and I guess it's because she's kind of like the outcast or seen as like weird in the school. And the relationship does seem like mostly physical, but they recently talked about love. They said that they loved each other. Connell said it, and then Marianne said it, and I was like, "Are you sure?" But looking back at some quotes, maybe. Who was this person Connell anyway? She felt she knew him very intimately, but what reason did she have to feel that? Or she was attuned to the presence of his body in a microscopic way, as if the ordinary motion of his breathing was powerful enough to make her ill. Being alone with her is like opening a doorway from normal life and then closing it behind him. Like, it just, this relationship between them, this connection, this, like, basically the media connection is very interesting. I don't necessarily want them to be together romantically, but I think they benefit each other when they're in each other's lives. It also just makes me think of the quote at the beginning of the book. I don't even remember who said it. Maybe it was George Eliot, but I definitely understand. I get it. That's what this book is talking about, that quote, essentially. It is in third person, which usually makes me feel a little bit detached from the characters, honestly, but this I don't even notice. Like, I think I just need to read more third-person books. Like, I never really go into a book knowing what person it is, but I feel like frequently, most of the times, it is first person. Sometimes that's a barrier for me, third person, but in this case, it isn't. I understand these characters, and it's very personal. Like, I'm getting into their heads. despite the third person. Another reason why I read this book, I forgot to mention, is because a booktuber that I watched named Emmy said that she enjoyed it and like her favorite books of 2024 video. At the time, she hadn't actually finished the book, but she was really liking it, and she said that she definitely related to the book, and I do too. Marianne especially, she has this thing where she constantly thinks about, like, not constantly, but sometimes thinks of a life outside of her own that she thinks she should be living, or she thinks she could be living. There's a quote that said, Marianne had the sense that her real life was happening somewhere very far away, happening without her, and she didn't know if she would ever find out where it was and become a part of it. Also, in just a few weeks' time, Marianne will live with different people and life will be different, but she herself will not be different. She'll be the same person trapped inside her own body. There's nowhere she can go that would free her from this. A different place, different people. What does that matter? That's kind of depressing. But yeah, just like this awareness of her life and what it could be, I guess. So yeah, those are all my notes so far. I'm going to continue reading. I'll be back, I guess, once I finish half of it, but it's pretty good. I don't know, like, I'm not blown away. I don't love this book yet, but I definitely think when I watch the TV show, I'll have more of an emotional connection, because I've cried at visual media more than books, but there's still so much time. Okay. Hi. Over halfway. I don't have any specific problems. It just keeps on going, and I feel like I'm just waiting for something more to happen. Lots of time jumps. The time jumps, and also like the relationship that they have and the characters themselves. It reminds me a lot of One Day by David Nichols. That is also a TV show and a book. I made a video as well if you want to check it out. But yeah, that is a comparison I noticed. Lots of quotes. I guess I'll tell you for the first time ever anywhere that I basically have this book of quotes, this little book where I only write quotes in, for each book that I read. Like, the first book that I read in 2025 was called Open Water, which also happens to be the first book that I read in 2024, and I wrote the cover. I drew the cover, and then I wrote down quotes in cursive surrounding the cover. And for normal people, it's just not enough room. There are lots of quotes. This is the first page, and I give myself front and back. So this is the first page, this is the back page. I'm only like a little over halfway through, and I'm almost done, so that's not good. I had to start writing more quotes in my blue notebook, which I use for YouTube, but yeah, so we'll say good quotes. Nothing else, really. I'm looking forward to watching it, because I think it'll be more interesting, and it'll take less time. I'm just trying to finish it at this point, unfortunately. Alright, hey, it is the next day. I did finish it on time. 11:58 p.m. if you want to be exact. I finished the book, but I did not start the TV show, so that's what I'm going to do soon. I'm not sure today, but sooner rather than later. Best case scenario. I mean, there was like a point where I was considering like splitting it up, book and TV, like make them two separate videos, but I feel like that it's just going to make me procrastinate it longer, so they come out at the same time. Anyways, I have a few last thoughts on the book. I would not say that I really like this book, or I like this book. It was like One Day, but I liked it less, and Irish, I guess. Not lots, but like some slang that I wasn't really familiar with. I don't think that took away from the reading experience, but yeah, something to note. Other things, they talk a lot or a little bit about like class differences. The two main characters, Connor and Marianne, grow up differently. They have different amounts of money in their family. And yeah, just the conversation around that. It reminded me of a book that I read recently called Jackpot by Nick Stone. If you want to hear about a relationship between two people who says it's romantic, in like two different classes at least, one's family has like a lot more money than the other, and you want to hear more banter, better banter, you can read Jackpot. This book didn't have a quotation, as I mentioned earlier. I think it would have helped. I had to think about it sometimes, whether or not it was supposed to be a quote or not, which didn't help with the reading experience. And yeah, near the end I was racing against the clock and trying to finish it before midnight. but I didn't really care much for what I was reading, if I'm being honest. So going into the TV show, there isn't like a specific scene or anything that I'm looking forward to watching, which is unfortunate. But I am keeping my mind open, and I'm still like, I'm looking forward to watching it. Not right now, though. Yeah, I guess that's it for the book. I don't do ratings here, but yeah, this is not, as in I don't do like 5 stars or anything, but this is not like, this is not the equivalent of a 5-star book, unfortunately. The show could be. Let's see.
Hi. Did you know, in my junior year of high school, I was in an Irish play, a play that took place in Ireland called Dancing at Lunasa. And I had to speak in Irish, and use an Irish accent. And watching the show again makes me want to go back. I'll drop it. I'll drop it for the best of us, for the both of us. I just finished episode 3. I'm not gonna watch any more today. I just want to kind of spread it out a little more. There are 12 episodes, which I feel like never happens. It's either like 8 or 10, but never 12. So good for them. First we'll talk about like how the show looks, and then we'll talk about like more nitpicky notes. I really like how it looks. The editing is really like smooth. It makes sense. It just has like a soft quality to it. There's barely any usage of music, and when music comes, I feel like it's really, like it's used sparingly, but it's used well. There's also lots of natural lighting, which I will always appreciate. Lots of close-ups, which I feel like really match like the vibe of the show. Sometimes I don't like. I haven't watched a TV show in kind of a while, I guess. Like a new TV show. So yeah, I'm like hyper aware of a lot of things. And then into more specific notes, Marianne's mom is nicer here. She's not like really nice. They don't have like a good, I'd say, relationship, but at least she's not only like degrading her. I saw Marianne reading Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I don't know how many books they read in this TV show, but maybe I could make a video where I read the books that they read, because I do really want to read Never Let Me Go. I read The Remains of the Day when I was on a cruise ship during the summer, which is also by Kazuo. And then I lied. I did say I wasn't looking forward to anything specific, but I think I was looking forward to Lorraine, who's Connor's mother, who I'd say is my favorite character in the book, and the actress is doing a good job. It also is pretty similar to the book. I don't know what Sally Rooney did in terms of like the making of the show, but I love when I say it's true, especially if I like the original product. So yeah, that is a plus. The performances are good. I don't know. They don't look like high schoolers. They're not in high school, probably because I've seen like Paul Mescal and other projects. I can't imagine him as a high schooler. But besides that, I guess no complaints. They're both doing well. Marianne is pretty funny in this. I feel like even funnier than in the book. And she's more of like an outcast, and people don't like her as compared to the book. I feel like people just like think she's like weird, but in this, like, they actually don't like her. So that's a little different. They changed her character a little bit, I feel like, in that regard. I no sympathy for Connell. He should be treating her more better. I was gonna say more better. That's not proper grammar. Um, so yeah. Anything else? I guess not. I'm just excited that I'm only 4th through and there are multiple episodes left. I haven't cried. I haven't felt emotional. Hopefully that changes. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's because of the performances, because the performances are very like emotional, um, but just not enough to make me cry yet. Hey, okay, halfway through update. I don't know. I guess I didn't write any more notes. I just haven't been continuing watching because I wanted to update. It's good. I liked episode, I want to say 4 maybe, or 5, whatever the episode was, when we just followed Connor at the beginning going into college. I just like that. It's like different, like only following one of them for like a longish period of time until he saw Marianne again. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any other notes. I think it's all downhill from here, mentally, for the characters. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to seeing Jamie and Marianne's relationship for obvious reasons. Yeah, Jamie's doing a great job at being horrible. Joanna's doing a good job at being cool. Kelly, I think, is her other friend. She seems nice, but in the book that she wasn't very nice, or she wasn't a friend that Marianne kept. So I wonder if they changed that. I still don't know what, if anything, Sally Rooney did with this project, but it's okay. I think I'll finish it and then search up all the things I want to know about it. Okay, now I've given myself permission to continue. Hey, alright, I finished the show, and this is going to be the last video in this little video series, even though it's one video. Last clip, I should say. I just have some random notes that I took. Episode 9 proves that depression can be filmed. I could feel it. I could feel the depression. The episode after that was also, I could feel it, but not as much. Just like in the directing and the angling and the cropping of the shots, specifically in episode 9, I could get the vibe they were trying to put across. Watching Marianne in this show, especially in the latter episodes, reminds me, we accept the love we think we deserve. From one of my favorite books, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, because her family does not treat her well, and I think she thinks potentially that since the people that are supposed to be close to you, your family, treat you that way, then you're meant to be treated that way. And yeah, Connell says something kind of similar to that. Just because people treat you badly sometimes does not mean you deserve to be treated badly. And that's something I need to remember too. I've never been in a relationship, but when I do, that's something to remember, because, yeah, just because someone that you love is treating you badly, that doesn't mean that, it's the right type of love just because you're attached to that person. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Episode 10, Rob died, which also happened in the book, but I feel like the show did a better job of, I guess, helping me remember Rob as a person, because when he died, I was like, oh, Rob, oh no. I also had read the book before, so I knew he was gonna die, but still, I could picture his face. While in the book, Rob was just, meshed in my head with all the other, school friends that they had. He didn't really have a discernible personality to me. While in this one, I remembered at least the actor's face. There's another quote in episode 10, where Connell was talking to, not therapist, I don't know what her field is, but the character is played by Noma Dumezweni, who was in Harry Potter and the Cursed Child on Broadway, the original cast, and she was Tony nominated. And he, talking about his relationship with Marianne, says, how I act with her is my normal personality, which is nice, we've been talking about. The title is Normal People. So maybe the best people for you are the people that make you feel the most normal, that you don't feel weird with, or you don't feel like you said the right thing. Just someone that gets you or understands you, or just doesn't make you, I don't know, self-critical, I don't know, something like that. Just makes you feel normal. Doesn't make you feel better or worse than you usually do, perhaps. There's also a really good quote in the last episode. I want to live the life I'm living. Wow. I've been thinking about a book a lot recently, which I recently finished, which is in my January wrap-up, which I'm probably going to film right after this video, which is called This Book Won't Make You Happy. And it's about how happiness is something that we can't really reach, but contentment is. And I think that quote is kind of in the vein of that. It's just a great feeling. When was the last time you thought, I want to live the exact life I'm living? I'm definitely a person that goes in search of things to make me happy or give me contentment, whatever. But it's nice that Marianne is finally feeling contentment in the life that she's currently living. I feel like that's a rare thing, and I've definitely never heard a line like that. That's why I wrote it down, because I really liked it, and it was memorable and unique. And then I searched up the information about like the different people that made this series, and Sally Rooney is one of the writers, one of the head writers, which makes sense because it's very true to the book. And I actually went in thinking that Paul Mescal was the only Emmy nomination that they got out of the series, but they also got one for writing and directing. So I understand why. I did really like the direction of the writing. What I remembered this TV show for is their use of natural lighting for sure. It is there are lots of scenes that I had to skip or that I wanted to skip that I skipped. I also want to say the book, I feel like I don't know if I can consider it feminist, if I even know what that means, but I think they do. They I appreciated some ways that they handled topics, and they saw things from like a female or like a woman lens, female lens, a feminine lens. What else? For it being 12 episodes, I don't think I would watch a single other TV show. I'm pretty sure. So maybe Greenhouse Academy. I feel like Greenhouse Academy has 12 episodes. Used to. That has 12 episodes. I'm so used to like the 8 or 10, especially when it comes to newer TV shows. So that was a pleasant drive. Surprise going into it. I thought it would only be like 8 or 10, and it was 12. I don't think you can really feel the length. Each episode, I feel like you can watch just like by itself, especially the latter ones, because there are lots of time jumps. So yeah. Here, in this part of this video, we're going to talk about whether I like the book or the TV show more. I'd say I like the TV show more. I like the TV show more. It's just really great to see everything visually. I can understand the characters more, sympathize, empathize. I could remember Rob as a character because of the TV show. So yeah, I do. I don't know. It's not like my favorite ever piece of work, but I understand why it's beloved. I went in thinking I was gonna cry, or hearing that it might have made me cry. I didn't. But I did feel like sadness during it, watching it. So it did its job. All the actors were really good too. Wasn't there weren't lots of people of color, to be frank, neither in the book. But yeah, that is something to mention. But yes, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it didn't turn out too long. I don't know when it's gonna come out because yeah, I just wanted to read it in a weekend. It ended up just being a day. I'm making this video, but there's no like really the only reason I made this video is because one of my friends said that I shouldn't watch the TV show. But it'll come out eventually. I finished filming this on February 4th, 2025, if that matters to you. So, yeah. Tell me how long it's been since then in the comments. I will see you later, hopefully in the next chapter.